our Savur Outdoors. And today what I want to show you is how to reload one of our Savur retrieval systems with one of our Savur Reload kits. Okay, to get started reloading your retrieval system, you only need a couple tools. I've got a pick to pry this plug out. You don't need a fancy pick or anything like that. Just a toothpick. I've used a toothpick, paper clip, whatever is the closest thing you have available, and a screwdriver. And no, you don't need a fancy screwdriver. Just a regular old Phillips screwdriver with a number 25 head on it, I think is about what it is. And then one of our Savur Reload kits. So the first thing you want to do, you're going to have a little bit of a mess when you first pull this out, but that's okay. The first thing you want to do is make sure that the line you've given a chance, you've given enough time for the line to dry. I'll show you how far you can get with wet line, and still start this process, but it's very important to let this line dry, because when this thing's fully sealed back up, you're just introducing moisture into the system on the inside, where the plug is the thing that keeps the moisture out from the outside and from the elements, and also keeps it waterproof down to about 4 to 5 feet. So once you get this pulled off, your line's dry, you want to rewind this line up on here like so. You can get a pencil or something, wrap tape around it big enough to put in here and spin it, but and most of you know why you don't want to start wrapping it, because you'll end up with a wound up mess, kind of like I have here. So I'll take a second and fix all that, and get back with you and start reloading this thing. So now that you know your line's dry, the next steps are really pretty simple. As you can see, this is one we used in testing a couple weeks ago, and we did lose the spring. You can run the line through there, run the line through the spring if you want to save the spring every time, but every one of these reload kits comes with a spring and a salt bobbin. So don't worry about it. The spring can get caught up and tangled. It's just something that's easier to keep out of the way, and keep the line free from the spring, because the spring could end up cutting your line somehow. You know, it's just something that I've never wanted to tangle with, I guess you'd say. So the first step is obviously removing the plug, but then the next thing you need to do is just pull this spent salt bobbin out. And you'll see the difference right away. There will be a bunch of white salt everywhere, and that'll clean up pretty easily. You can dump it out of the middle here, but anything that's in there isn't going to hurt anything. If there's dirt in there, you might want to wipe it out with a damp rag. Keeping the water out of there. Let it dry after you do that. But any of this white stuff laying around the top isn't really going to hurt anything. You can see the difference in the salt bobbins. This one is a fresh one, ready to go in, and this one is the spent one. So to reload it, the first thing you want to do is take this screw out and keep this. And as you can see right there, we call this the ejector pin, and this is the way it goes on. The pointy end goes down. See that? So keep these together. You can go through hundreds of reloads and use one of these things. If you do end up dropping one or can't find one, give us a call. We'll ship you one out. The next thing you want to do is make sure that your line tie is good. If you feel like retying, go ahead and retie. You just clip the line and then feed the line down and through. Sometimes it might get caught because it's a perpendicular hole, so when the line goes down, it tends to want to run into it. But you can use the same paper clip or pick to push the line through, get it, grab it, pull it through, pull it up, and tie a knot on it. So the next step is just to start reloading it. Put your spring in, and then the next step is to put the salt bobbin in with the salt up. So you're going to just drop it in. There's little grooves for it to fit in. It'll slip in and just slide right down. And then goes your ejector pin and screw. So when the retrieval device, when the float ejects, this screw stays in, and the salt bobbin just throws itself right past this. So right past and through. So, but to reload it, what you've got to do is slide that screw down and in, and then here's where the handwork comes in. What you got to do is you got to find that little post with the screw, and then just pull it in, push it in. And here's where putting if it's on a fishing rod, putting it underneath your arm is really going to help, because laying it on a table like this can sometimes, some people don't have the dexterity or the strength to do that, and that's fine. Just pull it up, get it underneath your arm, or in this case, in this instance, I'm just going to pull it down just a little bit. You can see where I'm just barely pulling that in, and then start to screw your screw in. And once you get here, what I want you to check, I want you to check and make sure that your line is going straight from your spool to your line tie on the side, and that it's not down below the bottom of the spool. Make sure it's all free and clear. This is also the point in which, if you do have some moisture in your line, what you can do is just let this thing set just like this. You can let it set, if it's your fishing rod, just let it set up against the wall, leaving the plug out for a little while, and let it dry overnight. It's not going to take that long. That way the moisture will go out into the air and not up into this cavity and begin to dissolve your salt tablet. So once it's dry, you know everything's good. The rest is just cinching it down. You just finish screwing it in. When you get down close like this, you'll see the blue ring start to disappear. It's just a crush ring. It also adds buoyancy. Just go slow with it, and when it stops, you're done. You don't have to screw it in anymore. You're not tightening down a bolt, because you can, and I've seen it, people try to think that they've got a couple more turns left on it, or they've got just a little bit of blue showing and they want to crank it down more. That blue will end up crushing down further once you get using it. So just once the screwdriver stops and you can't tighten it down anymore with just light pressure, you're done. And once you're done with that, put your plug back in. You're done, ready to go fishing again. So go to www.savuroutdoors and check out our products. Thank you.